Hello, everyone. This is Rick. I had a subscriber email me 3 weeks ago and asked me to do a video on Romans 13. In today's environment around the world, most citizens of most of the nations of this world don't trust their respective governments. I certainly don't. And this writer, this emailer, subscriber didn't either. So if we don't trust our governments, we know that they're corrupted. Why are we required to obey them? Well, for one thing, the Bible did not give us a commandment to obey them. Now, yes, Romans 13 certainly sounds like that commandment, but let me explain. It goes much deeper. The intent of God in this is so much more deeper than just what those words convey. If it meant to do whatever the government tells you to do, then Jesus was at the top of the list of disobeying that, because he did not do what they told him to do, and he was killed for it. That's not what that means. The deeper purpose of this is that when Christ came into the perfection of salvation in his resurrected body, he was given the keys of all the kingdoms of the world. He was now ruler of all things, because through him all things were made. God had brought it full circle, and that enabled us to accept and acknowledge that faith in us he mercifully gave us so that we could draw close and live in that same nature that Christ lived in. And in doing so, we renounce the citizenship of the world and we enter into the citizenship of the kingdom of God. The requirements of walking in love and listening to the heart are not given in here. What's given in here is the fulfillment, the testimony, the confirmations of all of those things that the heart gives us to do. And it's all done out of meekness and humility and submission. If we don't do what's in here, out of those attributes of meekness, humility, and submission, we're not walking in God's love. We're walking in pride and worldliness. So because Christ was given those keys to the kingdom, and we are now subject to Christ, we are slave to Christ, and through all things were created by him, we must be in submission to everything created by him because he is over all things. And we are to do so in meekness and humility, just as he did when he was standing before the Sanhedrin and Pontius Pilate. The only questions he answered during his subsequent trials was the questions of his spirituality and divinity, not of any accusations of the world. And he quietly and humbly accepted everything the world did to him. That's what persecution is. That's when we are persecuted in that law of love, or through that law of love in our lives. The world will persecute us through that law of love. When the worldliness or the world requires us to do something to cause us to violate the law of love in our hearts, to cause us to denounce Christ in either our actions or our words, we are to disobey in meekness and humility, just as Christ did. And that's what it means to be submissive to all things. Subject to all governing authorities. Until next time, God bless.